When you've spent all that time putting together the perfect estate plan, my clients always ask me, is it done or do I need to do more? My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm an estate planning attorney based in Edina, Minnesota, also with an office in Brooklyn, New York. And today we're going to talk about whether or not your estate plan is ever truly done. Now, for clients who work with my office, there are a few things that we work on as we're getting ready and then we sign our documents. When we're finished, one of the first things we do is fill out the My Personal Planning Essentials checklist. This document's available on my website. You can download it even if you're not a client, and it's a checklist that has all of your important contacts in one place. The other thing we do is make sure that all of your important documents are protected and they're in one place, which is not your safe deposit box, and they come in this handy folder that zips open and close. So we keep all of your documents in one place. So after you've signed your documents, the question is what's going to happen next? Over the course of the next 3 years, you're going to have various check-ins of things to check in your estate plan to make sure that everything is current and nothing needs to be changed. The first thing we're going to do is make sure that you have access to all of your electronic copies of your documents in your client portal. Many clients will sign their documents and get the notification that their client portal is all set up, but never get around to setting up their access. So it's important that after we've done all the documents, we've got everything signed and processed, that you make sure you have access to your client portal. The next thing we're going to check over time is your beneficiary designations. Now, at our initial meeting, we probably discussed quite a bit about the importance of beneficiary designations and how they work with your estate plan. Now, after a few months of signing your plan, we want to make sure that the beneficiary designations are all set correctly based upon what's in your will or trust. This is something that's good for you to do at least once a year, and hopefully your financial advisor, your financial planner is making sure to do that with you. And that's another thing, another person to check in with after you've signed your plan, is make sure you're talking to your financial planner or your financial advisor. Make sure that they know what's in your will and your trust. Give them a copy of it. You can download it from your client portal, but you want to make sure that they know what's in there to make sure that your beneficiary designations and your accounts are set up properly. Another thing we'll want to review after you sign the documents is your digital assets. Have you added more cryptocurrency? Do you have a password manager? Where are your social media accounts located? Do we need passwords for them? It's very important that your digital assets are also planned out for, and that we constantly check to make sure everything is kept up to date. And usually about a year to a year and a half after you first signed your documents, we're going to come back to your personal planning essentials checklist and make sure that everybody is in the correct place. Maybe you've changed insurance agents, maybe you have a new accountant or a new financial advisor. If that's the case, we want to make sure that we get that list updated. And again, that list is available on the front page of my website or in the free resources. It's called the My Personal Planning Essentials Checklist. Feel free to download one even if you're not a client. We're also then going to talk about a year and a half later to make sure you know where are the original documents. The documents do you no good if you can't find them or if you've stuck them in a safe deposit box that can't be opened without a court order. So we'll want to make sure after your estate plan is done, about 18 months later, do we still know where those documents are? Another important area to look at is your insurance. If you don't have an insurance agent, by all means shoot me a note and I can give you some names of people who can review the insurance you have on your home, on your cars, on your life, whether you have an umbrella policy, whatever types of insurance you have, you want to make sure those are properly tied to where you are in life at that point. If we're looking at about 2 years after you signed your estate plan, do we want to make sure that the life insurance is properly beneficiaried? We want to make sure you have the right home insurance. Maybe we've transferred your house from your name into a trust. Did we make sure that the insurance company knows about it and that it's set up properly? The worst thing that you can have happen is for your insurance policy not to know that the house is in the trust, and then something happens and you have the wrong insurance coverage. And finally, after about 3 years, you're going to hear from me and we're going to say, let's sit back down again. Sit down with your attorney and let's see what is going on in your life, whether there have been major changes. People have always asked me why it's 3 years. If you have children, you know that every 3 years or so, they're probably changing schools. They've gone from elementary to middle to high school, possibly to college. If everyone's grown, maybe you have new grandkids, you have more young babies at home. So every 3 years, you want to make sure you're checking in with your attorney to see if anything has to be changed in your estate plan. Oftentimes, we'll sit down and find out that there's nothing that really has to be done. Or maybe it's just a small change and we have to do what's called a codicil, which is a simple one-page document, but it has to be signed with the same formality as your will that just makes changes to your estate plan documents. Or perhaps we have healthcare documents that need to be updated. You've changed doctors. You want somebody else to be your healthcare power of attorney agent. So it's good after 3 years to sit down with your attorney, review what you have, and make sure that everyone is properly in the right place and that your legacy is being protected. So when clients ask me, is my estate plan really done? The paperwork is done, but it never really is finished. You need to continually go back and go through this list and check these things to make sure that your estate plan is properly laid out for you.